coffee in my studio, and it hit me that I haven't done any coffee dyeing yet. Hey there, and welcome back to my channel. We're digging into more dye techniques today, but this time we're looking into something that's going to take just a few minutes. Today we're going to be doing two very quick natural dyeing methods with things that you probably already have in your kitchen. We're going to be using red beans, and I used adzuki beans because I'm in Japan. You can use any kind of red beans such as kidney beans, and we're also going to be doing coffee. Coffee isn't just for your morning pick-me-up. You can get some beautiful warm earthy tones with minimal effort. And beans, they can give you this beautiful soft blush that I haven't recreated anywhere else. Now, I'm not being completely honest with you when I say that this is only a few minutes to get different colours on fabrics. In fact, the preparation is just a few minutes. The waiting time is still going to be 24 or 48 hours, but the actual making of the dye pot is just going to take you minutes. So grab your coffee, don't forget to make yourself a cup first, and your red beans, and we'll dive into today's dyeing projects. I got two of the drip coffee bags. I don't know whether you get them in any other parts of the world, but these are very prevalent in Japan. You sit them on the top of your cup and then you pour your coffee over. It's kind of like a drip coffee kind of thing. And so I've put some in some boiling water, and I'm just making a massive coffee. It smells divine in here. And then I'm just going to pop in some mordanted fabric and see what we can do. I don't know. I know coffee's a good one to dye because it's got lots of tannins in it. I've soaked my fibres for half an hour, and I've just got some. It looks a bit weird. It's like seaweed. So I have some silk, scoured and mordanted. It's going to go in. It's going to go in. And I'm just going to leave this overnight and see what happens. I've also got some of my bedsheet that I always use. That's going in. And because I had a few spare pieces from a project, this is red onions. I'm going to see if I can get a different colour on the red onion silk and on red onion cotton. Let's see. It's day 2 of the coffee dye, and this is what we have. Smells divine in here. Wow, look at that. That's such a good colour. So I'm going to rinse these off and throw the dye away, and I'll show you the dried results. I always put the results in my dye diary, and the coffee ones are right here. So this is the cotton sheet. The top part is pure coffee, and the bottom part is when I soaked it. I dipped it in ferrous sulfate and water mixture just to get 2 different colours. It's a really pretty colour, this one. And then I had the silk, came out a kind of caramelly brown colour. Really like that one. And this is dipped in ferrous sulfate, same bath that this one was dipped in. So it's come out quite differently because the silk always seems to dye really well. The over-dyed one I did with red onion, so it was kind of like a greenish colour. And it came out kind of mustard, dark mustard, which is really nice. And look at how dark olive that one is with ferrous sulfate bath on top. So lovely. This is the one that was red. It was red onion dyed as well, and then over dyed with coffee, and then that was the iron bath. So lots of different colours just from that one pot, and the preparation was about 2 minutes. And I threw it all in and just left it, and these are the results. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell if you want to see more content like this. Okay, today's dye is going to be not using my dye pot. This is my kitchen stuff. I've brought it to the studio because I'm actually going to use this food to eat afterwards. I don't like food waste. It's one of my bugbears. I don't like waste in general. But I think if I'm going to buy something that's edible, I'm going to try and cook it and eat it as well. So it's just my personal preference. It's not to use food unless it's gone off or is like the outer skin of something. All you're going to do is just pour these in. I always keep these silica gel packs and I put them in my dried materials so that they don't go mouldy. We do have a problem with that kind of thing in Japan. And all you have to do is just pour some water in there. Now, because it's food, I'm going to cover it and make sure it's in a clean place. I don't want it anywhere near my dye materials. I don't want it anywhere near chemicals, so I'm going to actually let that soak away from everything. I can already see some colour coming off it, which is so bizarre. I'm going to leave that for at least 24 hours. Then I'll strain the beans off and then the dye will be ready. I soaked my beans for 48 hours actually. This is what came off them. I'm now going to take the beans home and I'm going to cook them for dinner. So this is the pure bean water. They look like adzuki beans actually, what I had. So keeping it Japanese. So today's experiment is going to be with just some little tiny swatches of silk, which is scoured and mordanted with alum, and I've got some little swatches of cotton, also scoured and mordanted with alum. They were scoured and mordanted at the same time, so it's a fair test. Then I thought, to mix it up a bit, I thought it'd be fun if we had 3 different mixtures today. In this one I'm going to mix ferrous sulfate with the bean water. In this one I'm going to mix citric acid with bean water, and this one is just going to be with bean water. And then we're going to see what colours we can get. I'm going to put 1 of each inside the jars so that we can do a test. I've got some chopsticks for mixing and off we go. So I've got to divide up this into 3 little jars. Let's hope I'm not going to spill it everywhere, which inevitably I will. I can already see something happening. Wow, did you see? The change. It's quite bizarre. Like a chemistry lesson, isn't it? Okay. So I think that shows you quite clearly what is happening here. So we've got 3 colours just appearing right in front of our eyes, and we're now going to dye. This is before even mixing. I haven't even mixed it yet, so but you can see this doesn't need mixing. Obviously it's got nothing in it. This one has got the citric acid, which has now made it acidic, and as it's dissolving it's going more sort of red. And this one, I'm not going to mix them up. This one had the iron in it and it's kind of like a dark purple. Wow. Wow. I'm going to show you a little bit closer to the camera and you can see the difference. Same bean water, the only difference is the chemical that I put in. And it's even mixing on the table, so I better clean that up. Okay, I'm going to put one of each of the cotton samples inside the jar. One in this one. Whoop, that's silk. One in this one. And one in this one. I need another chopstick, it looks like, to shove that one down. And in this one. Give it a swish. Get another chopstick for in there. I'm going to put silk in next. I didn't wet these. I'm not bothered about an even dye on this, it's just an experiment. But if I was doing a big sample, I would wet these first. Just see what colours we get. It's quite fascinating, and it's a cold process, so it's very eco-friendly. I left the bean water solutions for 24 hours, and this one is the bean water just by itself. I'm sorry if you can hear any construction noise, but we're in the last stages of construction now. This one is the colour from the citric acid, and this is the one from the iron. So I'm going to get each one out and show you, and have to keep them separate because I don't want to contaminate the samples. So this is what you get from regular bean water with nothing added, just soaked beans, all cold process, nothing heated, scoured and mordanted though at the beginning. And this is a silk. Silk always dyes best. This is the cotton. Of course I'm going to rinse all this in a second. This is pre-rinsing. Very pretty colour. Very pale pink. And I'm going to do the vinegar next. Very different outcome, because this is an acidic mixture and it had a really good reaction. There we go. I'm going to put the silk at the top again so you can see. Wow, it's like an orangey pink, like a salmon pink. And then this is the cotton. Really nice. You can see how different these two samples are. So different from each other. So I can't touch the iron because it will stain my fingers. So I'm just going to have to do it by just pulling it out. Okay, isn't that bizarre? How this is all the same dye, but it is, I'll use the bean one, but it's done this. It's just amazing to me. This is where science intersects with art. There's the cotton, this one, and this one is a very different colour. It's like a grey. This is more like a purpley grey, and this one's like a grey. Wow. I really don't want to touch it. I don't want to have it all over my hands. Okay, right. And there we go. All the three samples together. I'm going to rinse these now and dry them, and then I'll show you the results at the end. Here are the final results of the colours that we made with the red bean water. This is the original colour of the cotton, very white, and this is the creamy coloured silk. So that's what it was like before it went in the dye. Here is the pure bean water, which is just a very, very subtle shade of pink. It's very, very soft blush pink. It's pretty, and it doesn't look like much until you actually see it next to it, and you can see the difference. There is a difference. This is the silk next to itself. It is different. So when we shifted the colour with citric acid, a whole new colour emerged. Quite a different pink, a more sort of pinky pink. There's a big difference between the two of those, and from the beginning, a huge difference. And the cotton too, it's a lot darker, a lot pinker. It's amazing what one chemical will do. That's what it started like at the beginning, and that's what it looks like now, so it's quite different. And the final one is the iron. Ta-da! Always a surprise. This is the cotton. It's a nice light grey, greyish bluish colour. Again, this light is bleaching it out a little bit, but also compared to these ones, so different. And the silk is a lovely grey blue. But when you compare it next to the other colours, it's so different. But they look beautiful together if you mix and match them. But this is what it looked like at the beginning. So you can see a very simple cold dye process is really effective. I'm now going to go ahead and put these in my dye diary. But I wanted to show you something about the pink. You might think the pink is very similar to avocado dye. Here we have the avocado dye, and you'll see, sorry, that's not avocado dye. This is the avocado dye. It's a different pink altogether compared to this. It's much pinkier. It's much pinker. That's the dye you get on the same silk with avocados, and this is the pink that you get with the red beans and vinegar. It's very different. And the grey is also super different. When you expose avocado to the same fabric to iron, it's that one, but this one is more blue. If you try any of these methods, please do tag me on social media. I'd love to see your results, and I'll see you next time.